So as it stands, we're going to have Andy as our president-elect, and then following him in succession would be Jim McLaughlin, or Conklin. I always get your last name wrong. Jim M. And then Debbie has Dennis. We're going to have Andy as our president-elect, and then following him in succession would be Jim McLaughlin, or Conklin. And then
There we go. Right. That was YouTube popping
that's
up.
called waterboarding. Okay. And then Deb will be our secretary. Thank you so much for stepping into that. Gil will continue as the treasurer and membership head. Eddie over service, our service projects. Leo, thank you for being the ad hoc position of administrator to assist us and work with the secretary. Jim continues with the foundation. Brandon is the past president for now. And PR, Marion has been doing that, but Melissa, I'm gonna visit with you a little bit to help and support and be a part of that, because I think you've been helping with some of the notes and things from the meetings, and just regroup on that as we go further into the year. Is that good with you?
Yes.
And Marion is not here with us today, so but we'll be doing that. So I guess given that, does anybody want to offer any alternatives to any of the positions that I've mentioned? Everybody, any other nominees?
Move to be elected.
Very good. Thank you so much. Any second? Okay, so Jim seconded it. And can we have a vote? All in favor for the roster is presented for the upcoming, for the presidents for this year, or for the officers for this year?
Ah,
Anyone opposed? All right, so
no, Debbie, you don't get to vote
you
no.
can't run out the door.
That's a full roster. I'm good.
All right, yeah, you're good to go. So therefore, we do have our officers now. So Gil, would you mind putting that on the website, or do I need to send it up to them?
I can get it there.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, big one, first of all. Okay, the next one is our bed bill. Andy, why don't, if you don't mind, you come and share what you, because you've had direct conversation with Mike, and then anything else that I can fill the gaps, I'll be happy to help you with. I'm gonna get my coffee.
Okay, yes. I guess it's been about a week ago, Mike Perkins and I had a chance to meet. He came by and looked at the facility, and he was pretty excited about it. We've got a big parking lot, so we kind of talked about what he would need, and we'll have plenty of room to do everything that he needs. He's self-sufficient, has his own generators. He's got, I guess the easiest way to say it is that most of the work that is going to be done is sanding boards. So they've got some people they'll cut the boards up, which they're kind of, that's one of his concerns, is who's operating the saws, so that nobody comes away with missing a pinky or something. So, which I understand. So yeah, he's, I think that particular part of it, I think everything's a go, and everything will work. And I think I've got, because that's the weekend I'll be gone to Pets. I've got one of my other managers who sounded pretty excited about maybe being a part of it. So he'll stick around and make sure we have access to restrooms and that kind of stuff. So it sounded like it was going to be a 8-ish start, and he thought they'd be done by 1.
Cool.
So
How about the deliveries?
at that point, that's when they put the deliveries together and then take them out. So the building goes through the process. He thought they'd be done around 12:30 with the builds, putting everything together, and then they start getting everything ready to go, take them to the people. So if you're gonna be, want to be a part of that part of the process, it'll be a full day. If you want to be a part of the build and you want to be a part of the delivery, it's an all-day thing. So if you want to be a part of, and I'm not sure how Mike want to set that up, if you want to be just part of the deliveries, then I would suggest showing up a little bit later, not be there early to be there part of the build.
Yeah, so we'll get more information, and I know you need to do Ryle too, so that I'll whatever you want to be So what's happening right now is Sleep in Heavenly Peace, the organization that's putting this on with, helping us. We're not the only group that's supporting this initiative for the Hill Country. So we have the Highland Lakes Crisis Network, Kevin Nauman's group they're bringing volunteers. We've got the Noon Club. They're going to be presenting to them this week, I believe, to get them fired up. And I've already been talking to them anyway. We got an email this week from somebody who's talking to Kiwanis that are going to be bringing folks. So we need 50 to 100 volunteers. So you can't have too many volunteers. And Gil's going to walk us through how to sign up to participate in the event. Say it again.
I said if you signed up, it gives good instruction.
Awesome.
So beginning at our main webpage, which is this, got this big blue button up here. I hope it's obvious enough that anybody can find it. Members use this button. The public will use the guest button. And if you are not already logged into the website, it will prompt you to do so. Now, some of you have not logged into Club Runner for a long time. If you are having trouble getting in, there's a password reset option. If you're still having trouble, you can contact me. If you're still having trouble, just tell me you're coming and I'll register you. It's simple. Mine says unregister me because I've already registered. But this will say register me, and then you'll get a prompt where you can register a guest. I registered Jennifer. I hope she didn't mind. We'll find out later. But it's an easy process. Now, I'm going to send out the link for the public registration here so that if you have somebody that you think might enjoy participating, they can click on that link, get here and register themselves. When you get to the registration page, there's a place to put in a comment so that, for instance, if you would like to be part of the delivery team, just make a note there. If you have a time constraint, I can't get there till 10, or I have to be gone by 10 or 11 or something like that, just put a comment in there. Becky really needs, if you're going to come, to have you register. That way we know how many we have, we know who to depend on. Certainly, if you think you're going to be out of town, and I thought I was going to be, now I'm going to be here. I would not have registered at the last minute, find out, yeah, I can be here. Certainly go ahead and show up, but hopefully pre-register. And that's all there is to that process.
Well, or more of a comment, I guess, and I don't know if we've already done this, but would it be worthwhile to reach out to the area high schools for
They're
kids that
coming.
are, okay.
Yeah, so the high school, there's a name for that program at the high school. It's not life skills, but it's like they're getting life skills to go do VOTEC. Kind of and the guy who's in charge of it, I've forgotten his name, but say it again.
Leonard Binghouse.
Mr. Binghouse, he was part of a planning group. So he is bringing about 18 kids, he believes. So from Marble Falls, but I would love to Burnett, Llano. I mean, I keep reminding everybody that we are a large region and we're not, Marble Falls centric. So we need to make sure there the needs for all of our criminal district, because this is really building beds for our children, primarily in CPS. But if you know of anybody who has children who are not sleeping in a bed, just go to the Sleep in Heavenly Peace website and apply for a bed. Nobody gets turned down. So we want to be able to deliver all of these beds the day we make them. If not, we have a place to store them. The Crisis Network is going to store them. So there's twofold here for us as members. Bring in other volunteers, sign up and come yourself, and help identify the needs in our community if you know of children that need a bed.
And is it correct that the Highland Lakes Crisis Network, of course, is huge, has a lot of churches built into it, and they're going to be soliciting
Yes.
volunteers. It's not all on us. But I think what we'd like to do is get people to volunteer as part of Daybreak.
Yep.
And we'll probably get an interesting member out of that or two.
I'm thinking, I think this is we do great work with the things we do in our service, but this is something that's tangible and it's an immediate feedback for us to get there, network with the community and have a positive outcome. Leo?
I saw something in one of the emails you sent out, but there was some question about whether they're this permit.
I told them not to. Several of us emailed on the side. You probably didn't see it, but I said it must go to the Llano and to our district, basically. So they all agreed. It's hard whenever, like Kingsland is the largest populated area in Llano County, and there's no central voice because it's an unincorporated municipality. So people have a hard time attaching to anything over there because it's so nebulous. But it's like, you got to pay attention to the whole community. So they all agreed. So that was good. All right.
That's good. People, when we do something with somebody who's city-based, they don't understand our multi-county rural area. We who work within that system understand it, but city folks just don't get it.
No, it's night and day.
It's a big community.
Well, I think, may I turn the light on?
I've got one other thing I'd like to do. Just before a couple of you came in at least, I showed you a current copy of the Picayune, and I said I found about 10 program ideas in there. And what I was looking at was who are doing things. Is there an article about something interesting? Is there something that's timely? There's an article in there about how to deal with cedar fever. And I think somebody to come talk to us about how to deal with cedar fever. Anybody had cedar fever lately? Yeah. But there are various articles, and that's just the Picayune. If you'll pick up the 101 things to do in the Highland Lakes, I bet you can find 50 program ideas in there. And all you have to do is pick up the phone, call somebody who you see is doing interesting stuff, give them a call. Everybody wants to come talk about what they do. Now, let me translate that. I'm going to show you. That's our webpage. That's our Facebook page. Y'all may remember the program about the museum that Robin Richter did for us. Well, how did I think of that? Well, I've known Robin almost since I came here. I knew her dad, Senator Walter Richter. I also knew about the museum because my grandmother taught in that building for about 1 million years. So Robin comes, she does a program. We had a few people here, we had a few people online. But look at this. 896 people reached directly by that posting. 130 engagements. That meant they shared it or liked it or actually opened it. Then I'm not going to take the time to go to the YouTube page, but then I put that together as a video and put it on YouTube. It's our #1 viewed program on YouTube. Now, some of those may have been members who looked at it, who didn't see it when it was on Zoom. Some of those may be people in the community who saw it linked there on Facebook. But I'll bet you a whole bunch of those are people who have never heard of Daybreak Rotary. So the point is, good programs attract members and they keep members. One of the reasons you keep showing up is because we have good programs. So another example, that's Judge Mabry. You can't quite see her there.
Good morning, this is Gil, and I'm here with Batwoman.
That was done live during adoption day.
Really Batwoman, but who are you anyway?
Excuse me, Judge Daryl Mabry.
I'm the judge of the Child Protection Court in Milpitas. I want to welcome everybody here to our National Adoption Day. We're covering 8 counties.
Okay, and let me go back and look at
8
that.
counties in my jurisdiction.
Oh,
And my
Cheryl.
grandson is talking.
Always want to say that.
Oh, I've said it before she became judge. I've tried to be nice since then. That had 689 views. Actually, there was one person who popped up live, who popped up viewing it live. It was not advertised. I just did it. My cousin Katie in Big Spring popped up viewing it. But that's what good programs do. And it gets our name around. And also helps us have a sense of we're part of the community and the community is part of us. So that's a pitch about programs, which is really a pitch about membership. That's all I got.
All right. So does anybody need Gil to sign them up? Is it easier for y'all for him to just kind of push the button? You'll be happy to take that list today. Everybody else who wants to go do the Build a Bed, you can get online yourself, or do you want Gil to do it? Speak now. Don't need help? Anybody need help?
Everybody can do it.
Okay.
If not,
Just let
holler
us
at me.
know. Change your mind.
Is there anything that needs to be done beforehand? Like, I'll be out of town on that day, but I'm happy to help.
Sure.
I don't, in talking to Mike, I don't think so. They bring in a trailer with wood on it. They've got connections on donations for all that. They bring a trailer in the day before. They get there early that day, set up their station. So they're really easy to do. Evidently, they have everything you need.
For the building up, but there is some stuff we can do because they need money. So we need sponsors, building companies. They need some way to get the stuff because it all comes from donations. So Mike has connections with Lowe's through the Sleep in Heavenly Peace, but all of us need to be, just like we raise money for sponsors for the shoot, it takes money. It's about $280 to build each bed. So that's something we can do is get the word out in the community, try to do some fundraising, bring that into, they can go right to the Sleep in Heavenly Peace website and donate directly. We can accept it and transfer it up to them. But they do need help. He says that, it'll get figured out. That's not going to be he doesn't ever want that to be a limiter, and God always provides. But we do need to be diligent and try to assist to bring in some funds to offset the cost of the items the materials, I guess I should say. The social media thing is important because the email we got from the lady, and I don't remember her name,
Nancy Keck.
Nancy Keck, she saw our posting somewhere in social media, said, hey, I saw where Daybreak's doing this cool thing with Build a Bed, and I want to go. I've talked to Kiwanis, and it all kind of cycled together. So that's just good collateral effect. So definitely encourage members, try to get some money, funds together, sign up. And beyond that, lunch will be provided. Highland Lakes Crisis Network is coordinating lunch, and it looks like it's going to be Chick-fil-A. Somehow Chick-fil-A loves that group, and they provide lunch for them many times. All right, got that. So speaking of that, we definitely need future programs outlined. I mean, Gil mentioned programming and program ideas. Right now, we don't have, Leo needs to have them in advance to be able to plan 3 weeks in advance is preferred. And so the next folks up would be David Williams. Has anybody spoken with David? Nobody at this table has. So I need to I'll make a point to give him a call. Terry Wilson is next online on the 25th. We have his Eddie Arredondo February 1st. And then we'll do an assembly again on the 8th. We do have a board meeting coming up on the, I just want to make sure it has to be at your place.
Let me just show why we need the stuff in advance. This is what we put up there on the website as we get speaker information. And when people go to our main page or when they get our bulletin, there's this list of upcoming speakers. Also, while I'm interrupted, Madam President, here we have a direct link to our calendar. On the calendar, you can see, among other things, your program responsibilities. They'll show up in pink there. You can also see that we have a board meeting here.
Should be on the 20th.
It is. Yeah. It's a little hard to see with
He's
the
gonna be
light off.
the same place.
As long as Andy says it's okay, and we'll let you know. This is his office.
This way.
The 20th,
January.
it's a Thursday morning, 7,
Yeah, January.
7 o'clock.
Should be fine.
Foxworth on his shirt. That's the name.
I saw it on the website.
Look at her. Eileen.
And you, if you go to that calendar, you can subscribe to the calendar and you'll get an email when calendar events are posted. And the 3-week advance notice is because we put it on here. We want people to come down and be able to see, oh, you know, I think that'd be kind of interesting. I think I'll go, or I think I'll get on their Zoom. I see what kinds of programs they're having. And the other thing is, on Thursday or Friday of this week, the bulletin will go out for the next week's program. It'll advertise that program, and had we had a program today, we would have a write-up about that program, and that's in the bulletin. So that goes to about 25 people besides all of you. And what we hope is some of those recipients will see that and say, oh, that was a great program they had last week. Or I see this upcoming program. I think I'd like to check in on that and see about it. And as people learn that we have that YouTube channel, some of them say, oh, damn, I'm sorry I missed that program. Oh, it's on YouTube. I can go there. It's all about engagement, but we need that advanced information because right now, what does it show for next week? Well, I got past it. What does it show for next week? TBA. That's not good. So,
So do we need a speaker for next week? Or do we just hop in?
likely.
Well, no,
Maybe
just,
take back that he thinks he's got somebody.
Perfect.
Well, if not, let's have a retired 3-star gonna be here. He would be excellent.
He's going to be a guest with us next week.
If he's 95,
Aw,
but he's mentally sharp and if I can talk him into it, he'll be here because he's my last man.
nice.
That'd be a great program. If you can hook him up,
I'll let you know.
let Leo know so he can coordinate with David.
my friend, she's the new coordinator for the new,
Oh, yeah.
Cutters
Cutters
and
and
Gutters,
Gutters.
and she has asked to actually
Well, I
speak
would-
to us and kind of just tell us about
That'd be
their
fun.
business.
I enjoyed working for him.
Very good.
All right.
He was a
You know, on
hard
that point, you can always have somebody come in and give them 5 minutes. They don't have to be the speaker.
Absolutely.
I'll let you know, Leo, by Thursday. How's that?
Okay, well, I'll find out David if he can.
Okay, well, if he does, let me know.
So one more big topic in just a minute will be RILA, but just some reminders. The District Foundation Gala is the 29th of January. That's on the calendar. District Assembly is April 9th. And then Rotary International in Houston is January 4th through 8th. If anybody can make it down there, I'm going to be in Alaska, so I won't make it to that one. And there are grant training seminars at each of those sessions. Any other key dates coming up that we
Now,
need?
the 5th this Saturday is grant training.
There's
via
another-
Zoom.
Yep. So I know we're gonna have at least 2 or 3. That's good to get that done going into the new year. So with that, let's talk a little bit about RILA and then we can talk about scholarships and things like that if we need to.
Okay, I got a call last night from Barbara, I think her last name is Nahara, if I say it right. not, I apologize, Barbara. She's been our district RILA representative for the last 4 years. This is her last go around. And so in our conversation, I blamed COVID on her so that she could try to get out of being a part anyway. Bad joke. But the phone call is that RILA is back on. They found a facility. I cannot tell you where yet because contracts haven't been signed. So until they're officially signed, I can't tell you. All I can tell you is it's north, and it sounds like there's some rotary connection with this particular place, and it may become a long-term place because LCRA and McKinney Ruffs. LCRA has decided to completely change how they use that park. They are looking at it in long term. They're essentially going to get rid of the cabins and restructure what they use it for and how they use it. So we will never go back to McKinney Ruff State Park for RILA again. So that's over and done with. So this particular 1-year deal that they were kind of working out may turn into to be a long-term deal. And there may be some Rotary involvement to help them get the facility to be really what we want it to be. So there sounds like there's some opportunities that may come out of it for the district. But having said that, for this year, there are less spots available. Instead of 100, they're going to have 90. So basically, they were looking at everybody who wanted to send 4. We're probably going to back away. So I told them that we'll commit to taking 2 away, that we'll just take 2 campers this particular year. Now, whether the noon club does 4 or does 2, but in the long road, if you look at it, we've been very, very fortunate with RILA being able to send 8 from our community. And compared to some of the other places, they're lucky to find 2, and we're sending 8. So I don't feel disappointed, but maybe at some point down the road, we can kind of get back to that direction. So right now, I've got to get back to the school district and schools and start the process and make sure that we're heading forward. So at some point, I'll be needing some help for interviews. We'll see how that goes with this new COVID stuff going out, whether it'll be able to do them person to person or whether we'll have to do them online again. I'm not sure how that's all going to work, but it is going to move forward. The only other thing would be is that it's moving back a week. So instead of being the week of 4th of July, it will be the next week after that. So it'll be the middle of July instead of kind of the 1st of July.
Go for it, right.
About the same. It'll be up and around the clean area. So it'll be north.
Take the compass, figure out where it's.
We'll head north.
It's gonna be
We'll
north.
head north instead of east.
It was easy to get a deal.
And it'll actually probably be an easier drive because we won't have to drive through Austin.
Yeah, no kidding.
Very good.
So
That's good news.
So it's good news. It sounds like it's going to head in the right direction, but look for an official announcement coming out as to all the details. But it looks like RILA is back on, and it's probably going to stay in this general direction.
Are we making breakfast tacos?
No.
Let us back know.
No, they did ask if I wanted to donate the extra 2 campers money, and I told them we'd like to have our money back. So I did tell them that. So anyway, any other questions on RILA stuff?
Whatever we can do to support you.
That's good news.
Next
As soon as I know more, I'll send out the I need help things.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yay, good news. Yay. Isn't that cool to see his heart so warm? I love that. I mean, really, this is something that you keep near, all of us do, but Andy, you really are the torchbearer for that.
As president coming up, I've been doing it from last
But
time
you
I
do
became
so
president
good.
to, so that was,
You're irreplaceable. You really do good. Is there, we lost Buck and Ed, they had some things to go do. Is there anything else for purposes of assembly, keep us focused, help us close gaps, anything that we're missing? Besides more members
Good programs.
and good programs. All
Turn
right.
the Facebook on.
Yes, sir. And keep, Jim, if I may, keep you in our prayers with your health as you continue your journey towards recovery. Absolutely. So, all right, if y'all want to stand up and join me in the four-way test. The four-way test of the things we
Don't say do. Is it true?
is it
They're all concerned.
Will
Will
it
build good will
build
and better
better
friendships.
and
Will
will
be
it be
beneficial.
beneficial? All concerned. And will it be fun? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, don't forget that.
I know.